And I would take this opportunity for the last 10 minutes or so to invite our second inspirational speaker, Mr. Samo Login, who is the founder and CEO of the Login 5 Foundation, where he leads its main project, Login Eco, which aims to transform the entire food system into a sustainable one for generations to come. Quite a feat indeed, Samo. So I look forward to hearing from you. And just to mention as well that Login 5 Foundation is a new forum partner from this year onwards. So Samo, I look forward to hearing your inspirational discussion, and take it away when you're ready, okay?
Thank you, Rose. Well, I figured out I'm the one for the entertainment part of this show, so you don't fall asleep. So let me start with a question. How many of you are parents or grandparents? Well, I suppose a bit more, because statistically about 80% of women have children. And being a father myself, our unsustainable life started to concern me. How will the future look for my grandchildren? 15 years ago, I decided to develop sustainable, to dedicate the rest of my life on this beautiful planet, to develop sustainable solutions that will enable us to have a more sustainable life. At first, I was not concerned with food, but wherever I looked, my focus returned to food because of growing population, increasing living standards, reduced soil fertility, and biodiversity from non-sustainable land use do not compute. Available resources are very limited, and by 2050, we will need to produce 60 to 110% more food to feed a world population of 9.3 billion. So, of course, this is if we change nothing about the way we eat, about our diets, or about our food systems. How future generations will thrive depends on decisions we make today. And we have already made quite some bad ones. To become sustainable, we can't just change the way how we grow our foods, our crops, and just hope for the best. It is not enough. We will need to address the whole food system from seed to fridge and make it more optimal. So the current one is not sustainable and is not sufficient for the growing population. Let's address challenges one by one. Current practices, so-called conventional agriculture, sacrifice future yields for increased yields of today. So we are depleting the organic matter in the soil and polluting it polluting groundwater with pesticides and mineral fertilizers. Whichever scenario we choose for the future, the way we grow our crops will need to be sustainable. And sustainable simply means being able to reuse the same resources over and over again without depleting them. It's very logical, it makes a lot of sense. And if we don't do it in a sustainable way, we will just run into bigger problems at a later time. We need to get smarter with how we use our crops and use them more efficiently, as most probably any sustainable solution will not have increased yields compared to conventional agriculture that we know today. To increase calories and proteins we get from our crops, we will need to get rid of protein intermediaries, or simply put, farm animals. The good news is that we already have scientific proof that by doing so, our diet will not only become healthier, but also cheaper. We also need to stop growing crops for biofuels, as in total, they do a lot more harm compared to simply using fossil fuels instead, until we figure out how to replace the fossil fuels with something that will be truly sustainable. So why are we so slow with adapting to the new reality? Because it is difficult for people to change their diets. Even if this means their own premature death, and even if this means robbing their own grandchildren of a brighter future. And unfortunately, governments are mostly not working in the direction of sustainable food systems, as they are all subsidizing meat, milk, and biofuel production. The least governments could do is to stop slowing down the transition to healthier alternatives. Let me point one good example. It is the rise of plant-based milk alternatives, which would be able to conquer the market even faster if milk production was not subsidized. There is no logic in that 1 liter of cow milk costs more than 1 liter of a plant-based alternative that is made from cow feed, for example, soy. So we, as Login Eco, are making on solutions to actually tackle these issues, and the first one is how to grow crops in a more efficient way. The majority of crops of calories that are consumed by humans are still produced as staple crops in the fields. And unfortunately, there are no alternative methods that would be cheap enough. All alternatives are too expensive. On our farm of 3,700 organically certified hectares, we are therefore focusing on sustainable production of staple crops, which is, of course, without pesticides and mineral fertilizers. We use techniques like crop rotation and mechanical weed control instead. We can't claim that we are 100% sustainable yet, but we are close, because sustainability is really, it's a challenge to say, like, we are there, but having a proof that you are there, it's more difficult. We are developing our own farming software to make all farm processes more efficient. It is embedded in all operations, and data points are collected at every step. So this enables us to have full traceability with no additional effort, from seed to harvested grains. And traceability, in my opinion, is very important because it is needed for transparency. And transparency is the cornerstone to bring more fairness or justice to the whole food system. So, and our software and knowledge that we are developing will be available to farmers for free. Another project of ours is focusing on end consumers. We make biggest compromises regarding our food when we are in a hurry, in the office, on the go. In all these cases, convenience is king. And we end up eating all kinds of unhealthy, highly processed snacks like chips, sandwiches, sweets. And with modern lifestyle, the need for highly convenient foods will not go away. It will just increase, and therefore it became the focus of our research. Our first product was already launched in Slovenia with great success, a meal in a bottle called Gnamito. It is organic, clean label, we use high pressure processing to preserve its nutrients. Like all of our solutions, Gnamito was developed with sharing in mind. Actually, the first licensee was signed up 2 days ago, and additional ones are getting signed up as we speak. We hope that we'll get many more, also maybe potentially some of that are now in the audience. During lunch and even before you will have, and even before you had chance to try out Gnamito, remember to scan the QR code, because this will demonstrate another nice feature that we try to promote with it, namely traceability. And you can trace the journey of all ingredients, including the bottle itself with it, especially oats that were produced at Login Eco Farm and are fully traceable all the way back to the fields. As a founder of Login Eco and a proud parent, I am committed to our vision: healthy food for everyone. We are developing sustainable solutions that we will freely share with the world once proven effective in our tests. Let's make sure our future generations can enjoy this beautiful planet just as we do. Thank you.
Samo, before you depart off stage, does Gnamito mean anything in the Slovenian language?
Yes, actually it comes from the word Gnami, which means delicious.
Okay, like nyum nyum. Okay,
Yum,
perfect.
yum, yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, Samo, thank you very much indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, Samo Login from Login Eco. Plenty food for thought in your inspirational talk, and we appreciate the time that you've given us today.